Hello everybody, it's Budrich, and we will continue in our Poison series with Rise of the Poison. And with poison I mean colors. Okay, we in the last video we looked at how to configure Xresources. Now we want to use those values that or resources we set in the last video. We want to use those colors in i3 and polybar to start with, at least, and maybe we should start polybar. Polybar start, and the listener script i3, or let's do this, send this to 2, make a new i3 listen.py, send it to 2. Okay, we got a polybar, we got our i3, nothing matches, nothing is good. To use the Xresource values in i3, we can do this. I have written it down here. Here's how to use it in i3, here's how to use it in polybar, and here's how to get the values from a script. But let's focus on i3 now. I open up my i3 config file here, you remember, blah 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 blah. I have prepared it a bit here with some appearance settings. Let's just paste this but not touch it. This is how you can modify the appearances of i3. There are some more, actually more appearance options that you can set. Read about them in the config file, but we will look at these for now. Client focused, that's a focused window like this one. A focused inactive, that is like if you have a tabbed container, then the focused window is the visible one, but another window is active. You get it, right? Unfocused, that is of course, you can see now Sublime is unfocused and has different colors on its decorations, and yeah, you get it. That's an unfocused window, and an urgent window is a special window that, yeah, when a window is urgent, then you can have a special color for that. And each of these settings, you add 4 colors to it. Now I have added some nice spacing and stuff here, so it's more clear what's going on here. But the first value is the border. You can see the border going around the window, and then you have the BG, which is like the background of the window title, the text of the window title, and then this indicator. This means it's when you split, sometimes you get an indicator showing where the split will appear, and that will color that border. And you define them with hexadecimal color values like this. To apply these settings, now I have really ugly colors here just to show you what's going on. So an active window will have a pink color, and an unfocused window will have a blue color. Save this, and then you have to make a restart, not just a reload. So a restart with Supershift R is the default. Now you can see the borders and colors are different and really ugly. White text, green text, pink background, blue background. And you can of course like anywhere almost in the i3 configuration, you could set a variable instead. So you can use, you see we have the same color here at several different places. So if we just set yeah, let's call it act. It's what we will be using, and then FFE000, that's a yellow color, and then instead of this pink we add this act, save and reload or restart, and now we get a yellow color. And as you can see, the white space doesn't matter. But we wanted the values from our XRDB or Xresources. To know which values we can choose from, the best thing is to run this xrdb query command. And now you can see, since we included the URxvt settings, those settings are visible here as well. But these are the one that's interesting now, the color values. And let's take here color number 3. I think that is yellow as an example. Now we can copy this whole line. Yeah, that's the color we want. So instead of setting a variable like this, I move this up to the setting part here. You can load the value of a variable from Xresource instead. So let's, I comment this old act out, and to create a new one, you use this i3 command, set from resource, and then just like normal set, you name the variable like this, and here you write which resource you want. And now we want color 3 here, and default here you have to set a default value. So let's make it pink. If it doesn't find it, then we know if the window is pink. But if it finds color 3, this one, it will set that to the decoration here. So if I save now and reload again or restart, and now you can see we got this good solarized yellow instead of that bright stupid yellow. Got this one. Okay, so that's all nice, very, very cool already, one might think. But what if we would change this yellow here? Oops. It's this color. If I duplicate this line now and comment this original out, and then if we change this to a bright red, for example, I save this now. If I restart i3, it will not fetch this color because it have to reload. We have to merge the XRDB changes first. Let's see if we got it here in our history. And now if I reload i3, it gets red. It gets the new value from Xresources. And this is a bit tedious to open a terminal, reload. It's a lot just to change the colors. So what we can do is create a little script that will merge XRDB and then reload i3. And later on we can also add the reload polybar when that's interesting. So let's create a script with our auto script function. Let's call it reloader. And there we have reloader. And what we want is to merge and reload i3 message restart is what we want. And yeah, we can just leave it like this, save this, and then we can add this to a hotkey in i3. And I don't know if I have messed up something here, but it looks like I have to print the full path to this particular script for some reason. I don't know why really, but I think we can use our home variable here at least, so to make it easier. Let's see if this works. Reloader. Save this and reload. I know this is confusing. This command is reload and this is reloader, which restarts, but whatever, that's the name now. And see if this works. It's probably something wrong with the variable with the slash and everything there. Let's just write the full path then. I don't know why I cannot, because it is in my path. I can run reloader from the terminal. I will show you. But if I run reloader here, it reloads i3. No, we didn't see any color change because we haven't done anything. But now we should be able to reload reloader here also. I never put in an exe. That might have been the problem. Let's see if this works. Home. Reload. No, it doesn't work. We need the full path. It doesn't even work with this now. So weird. There's something strange going on with launching scripts. Homebud scripts. That's the path. Sorry. Slash scripts. Reload. And now it works. Really good. Then we can try here again and change this back to its default yellow. I hit our new reloader and it changes back without, we don't need to merge or anything. This is very convenient. But it's strange that I have to put in the full path like this. And another thing, this actually, we could use this instead of these lines. We should also use this merge if we're doing this in the reloader. Don't worry, all the scripts that you need will be included in the show notes and whatever. So instead of having these lines, we could have this line here. It's cleaner, it's better. And let's add this to the auto section. Auto starts like that. Okay, so now it's easy for us to reload when we make changes to Xresources and i3 and whatever. But this catches color 3 here. That's fine, and we can find a good color for active window and inactive and whatever, and find color numbers like this. But there is another approach one can take, and I think this is, after doing this for a while, I think this is much better. Because you can actually define, if we look here in the URxvt, this is how resources look like. The name of the resource, then sometimes you have a class name in the middle, and the name of the resource itself. The name of the application, the class name of that application, and then the resource. But you can define your own resources and name them whatever you want. So let's create here bud style. We can name something random, you know, and then we can have a BG, and here it's important now I can't use BG here now as the resource name because we have a variable that's named BG. So a good thing to think about when you define the variables, like in here. Name them so they are truly unique. Maybe it's better to put like var bg in front of everything and var in front of every color here. I think that's much better, and I might change that in the files I upload, but not now. But we could call this bg1, and then you put a colon. This is the difference from creating variables. You name your resource, and then you put a colon, and then the value. So we could have a value of black here, for example, like that. And in i3 config, instead of loading this color 3, we can load our bud style .bg1, and we can also, and yeah, let's merge from here and then query here, because now we can see our bud style, I hope at least. Yeah, it's at the bottom here. So now we can use this in i3 also, and this is better in my opinion to do this. And if I reload now it becomes black from our bud style. And of course we can use a variable here instead. For example, blk, that's black, and blk2, that's black number 2. And I like to do this, you see. What we could do is actually define this a little dirt tag here inside solarized dark here, so we can see the colors. So BG, that's this 002, but I don't want to use the BG. I rather use that 002, which happens to be BLK2. So that can be BLK. Yeah, and yeah, we can have it like this. And then I also want to create foreground resources, 1 and 2, and here it's probably the foreground is this one, and I know that is not one of the whites, it's actually this blue 2. We can use that. And then we have the white. We have 2 whites here. Let's just use this white too. I hope you're following here. And then, because I don't like to use so much colors for decorations, and I think it's best to keep 3 colors, but it's always good to have alternate 2 background colors and 2 foreground colors for like inactive, active text and such. And then I like to have like an accent color, bud style accent, and then we can just choose one of these. I have found that blue here is a good accent color, but you could use anyone here. We could take the magenta also, whatever. Let's take blue now, but we don't want these inside our solarized. We want them here or in its own file, but let's keep it in the Xresources file for now. And then we go back to i3 config, and we can paste these here just so we have a reference, we know the names. Because remember, you can't reference the variable names from here. You can only reference a resource. And now BG1 is different, but BG1 is BLK1. Yeah, that's good, because this is the terminal background, and this is a lighter dark, so to speak, dark blue. So that's good to know. BG1 is is not the same as terminal background. Remember that. And I want act. There we can have accent. But for inactives, call this one ina. There we want bg1. Let's see what we have here. ATX, ETX. And for active text, then we can use FG2. And for inactive text, we can use FG1. I wonder now if it wouldn't have been better to use BG and FG here instead. Yeah, I think I will go back and change that. And we also want a red color here for the urgent windows. Let's name those URG. Bud style reddish. And UTX can be FG1. Yeah. So let's add this reddish and fix that. I don't know. I don't think all of you know exactly what I'm doing here now, but stay with me. And here we want red. Let's see now. FG is blue 2 and BG is black 2. BG FG. This is better. You'll see when we when we switch themes that this is much smarter. Okay, if I reload now with our reloader script, now we got this thing going on. It changes to this blue, the accent, and the white 2 here for the text, but it have only changed the active because the other ones are defined with color, so you can see this ugly inactive window. I have prepared this here, as you can see, so let's just switch these sections, save, reload, and now inactive windows have this alternate background color and a more faded text color. A cool thing here now is that we are not limited to only colors here. We could also set the font if we wanted from Xresources. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, here we got them. And the fonts are used both here in my Bud style, but I use them in URxvt, and in we might use them in other parts of this Xresources file. So it's best to set them to variables. Define, and we can call this FNT1. And we have 2 fonts, so let's make two, and one can be Fixedsys, and the other one can be Inconsolata. And I also like to set the font sizes. We can call them FNTSC1 and FNTSC2, and this one 12 and Inconsolata 18. And then we add this to bud style here. Let's just add one font for now. And then we call this font 1. And be careful not to use this variable names as the resource names. And then we set this to font 1. And here we can have font size 1 to fonts 1. Okay. Now we can load these as well here. What did we call them? Font 1 and font z1. And here we can name them whatever we want. Font. We can call this vz. And we have to set the defaults. Let's just make some crazy defaults like this, and then we can have monospace here, for example. It's a good fallback. And I think the font is actually defined at the top here. Let's move that. Here we have it, font pango monospace. So copy that and add it to this appearance section. I think that's more accurate. And then we can just replace this monospace with our font variable and this size with our variable. Let's see if this works. Reload. And now I got my favorite font Fixedsys as the title font. And now I think we're done with this i3 settings, and we make a break here, and the next video we take this to polybar. Maybe I should mention also you can fiddle with the border of the windows. Like normal, that's a normal, and the one that means the width of the border here. If we change that to 5, then we get this style. If we change this to pixel, then we remove the title bar and get this kind of window. But this, if you have a tabbed container, then it will pop. You can't get rid of the title. So I prefer to always have the title. And also there's a big advantage of having a title bar. It is that you can drag windows without holding any buttons by dragging the title bar. Okay, I hope you have followed. I know this is a bit confusing, but this is really good to set it up like this, because now, yeah, let's look at that really quickly. If I would change theme here now to Xresources instead, save here, I reload. Now we get the Xresources colors. Of course I have to spawn a new terminal, but that is also Xresources colored now instead. So you see how smooth, and this is why we wanted the BG color and not the blue 2, because blue 2 would look completely different in Xresources. Okay, I say thank you for watching. I see you in the next video where we add this to polybar, as I said. Okay, i3 cast.